Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Deciphering My Experience. My name is Eric, and it's been a little bit since I put something up here on YouTube, but that's because I'm mostly cranking away at deciphering.tv. Those of you who have been following me for a while are well aware of the fact that I have a website. The link will be down in the links. The censorship for YouTube is just getting a little bit crazy lately. I wound up getting my first strike recently for a video that I posted like 6 months ago or something like that. So you guys all know the drill. YouTube is pretty much for the birds, and mainstream media is, sold themselves to the devil for all practical purposes. So we, the people, are doing the best that we can for the time being to try to rise up and get the truth out there. So please help out, support the people that you are following by adding likes, subscribes, and shares to everybody that you support. And for myself personally, if you can head over to deciphering.tv, check out some videos, share some links, check out the contact section, and sign up for the email so that we can all stay in touch. I actually wound up losing my original email database. So if you have previously signed up at the website, you're going to have to do that again. So I appreciate it the first time, and I'm really going to appreciate it the second time, because this is how we have to fight the good fight in the future. But in regards to today's conversation, it is, in fact, about Antarctica. So let me pull this up, because I find this to be wildly interesting stuff that is just coming to the forefront, I guess you would say, of modern science. It says here in the Polar Journal, extensive river system discovered under Antarctic ice sheet by Dr. Michael Wenger, November 1st, 2022. You see a big old image here of the ice wall, that holds all the water on the planet, according to the flat earthers. Yes, we can all laugh. Flat Earth is a silly topic, and it deserves to be chuckled at. There's an interesting character running around by the name of Flat Earth Dave, and if you've been poisoned by the junk that he's throwing out there, I apologize. Unfortunately, he has been so bold as to run around claiming to have communicated with me on my experiences down at the South Pole Station in Antarctica. And all I can tell you, folks, is that is a bold-faced lie. I have never discussed the topic with him. So take that into consideration when you're dealing with charlatans like Flat Earth Dave that just make things up and make up conversations. So forewarned is forearmed, folks, and the earth is not flat unless you are a secret agent for the government or some sort of other knucklehead. But back to the truth. Extensive river system discovered under Antarctic ice sheet. From above, the two ice sheets in West and East Antarctica only look spectacular in a few places, and liquid water can be expected at best along the coasts. The rest is a frozen white surface, but deep beneath the ice exists a hitherto little explored world that is still full of surprises. A few decades ago, the discovery of large lakes made the media rounds. Now, research teams are also discovering entire river systems, according to a recent paper published by an international group. More than 460 kilometers long, and the drainage area of several ice streams and glaciers, covering a combined area of 960,000 square kilometers. This is no small system, folks. This is the newly discovered river system on the southeastern edge of the Weddell Sea by Dr. Christine Dow and her colleagues. They published their discovery in the journal Nature Geosciences last week. Wow, folks, so this is fantastic, I think. So there have been reports going around from so many different angles for many, many years now about there being submarine activities by the Germans since, I guess, just before World War II, that they were underneath the Antarctic ice sheet. And it appears that we're getting corroboration that the veracity of those statements can be calculated. The discovery was made by the team, which consisted of members from Canada, the United Kingdom, and Malaysia. while studying a previously little explored area in Antarctica. Where the two ice sheets of western and eastern Antarctica meet and flow into the Filchner-Ronne ice shelf, the team found the system thanks to airborne ground-penetrating radar, which can also penetrate ice, and a model that can represent the hydrology of ice sheets. In particular, the fact that liquid water in the system pours over hundreds of kilometers into the Weddell Sea surprises and excites the researchers. This is because this finding puts to the test the previous assumption that the lakes discovered so far, which also contain liquid water and have become the focus of research, are isolated. Quote, "We are starting to understand there are whole systems down there, interconnected by vast river networks, just as they might be if there weren't thousands of meters of ice on top of them," says Professor Martin Seigert of Imperial College London, who, along with Dr. Tao of the University of Waterloo in Canada and Dr. Neil Ross of Newcastle University, developed the study. Liquid water kilometers deep under the Antarctic ice sheet is a special discovery because it does not originate from the surface, as it does in Greenland, for example, and was transported into the depths by melting processes. Instead, the research team suspects it is meltwater from the base of the ice sheet, created by geothermal heat and friction. Because a nearly balanced state of water discharge and inflow is formed in the process, the water can form channels that can extend for hundreds of kilometers, and with that, the discovery also raises numerous new questions. For example, how these river systems affect ice streams and the ice shelf, because heat is also transported with the water, which can end up affecting ice breakup on glaciers and the formation of tabular icebergs on the ice shelf. Also, according to the team's findings in Antarctica, the speed at which ice streams flow depends more on the amount and pressure of water than on the steepness of terrain. Well, folks, not for nothing, it sounds to me like science has a lot to learn still about the science of Antarctica, the way that the ice moves, how the water now impacts it, since, as the article states, this is a completely new system, unbeknownst to science at this point, maybe some Nazi submariners and the such up until this point. But it seems that this is a new topic for science. So how about we take everything that they said about climate change and what's going on in Antarctica and throw every bit of it out the window, like I've been saying to do for a few years, because there's more information that hasn't made it to the public yet. And this is the tip of the iceberg. This is stuff that I knew way back when, 10 years ago on the ice. This stuff, we knew about things going on. We knew things were different. We knew the information going out to the public was shenanigans. So here we have it. It's finally getting out there. We got rivers flowing all over the place underneath the ice in Antarctica. Is what it is. There's probably submarines to boot. Another question that arises is whether freshwater input into the Weddell Sea has an impact on biodiversity beneath the ice shelf. This is because last year, a previously unknown ecosystem with a surprisingly large diversity of marine organisms was discovered in the same region. What do you know? Surprisingly large diversity, new organisms. It's like they never want to talk about the positive. They always want to talk about the bad things happening on the planet. But this is good. This is good news and should be put at the forefront and discussed more openly. Because such basal river systems transport not only heat and fresh water, but also minerals to the ocean, this could be a possible explanation for the diversity. In any case, Dr. Tao and her colleagues will have to collect some more data and also compare it with other areas in Antarctica in order to unlock the secrets of this previously unknown world. Quote, that such a large system could remain undiscovered until now shows how much we still have to learn about the continent. Wow. That says a bunch, folks, because if you ask me, this is not new information to those with eyes to see and ears to hear. And if you've been following along at deciphering.tv, this is stuff that we've known. But if you're here on YouTube and this is new to you, guess what? There's a lot going on under the ice. I've said before, all roads lead to Brookhaven National Labs, but there's a big highway from Brookhaven National Labs that goes right to the history of Antarctica. And the former Secretary of the Navy, Jon Warner, stated that there was submarine activity going on under the ice. He stated that it was for space operations. We have all kinds of reports from researchers like Brad Olson. I believe Joseph P. Farrell might have mentioned something about these things going on in Antarctica. And we have Michael Schratt that's discussing the different types of vehicles and things that are going on in these secret programs. There's all kinds of funding and all kinds of ways to find the truth. And this article is just one of those arrows that points in the direction that adds to the probability of things that were presented to us in the past that were possible. So the possibility of traveling underneath Antarctica by submarine is becoming more and more prevalent in conversation. And people are going to start asking more questions about what's going on down in Antarctica. And directed energy weapon systems, secret submarine operations, secret space operations, secret communications devices for intergalactic comms. I mean, folks, there's a lot going on this planet, in Antarctica, and off of this planet. So let's have more discussions about it. Thanks for everybody that's always following along and showing their support. I really do appreciate it. All the people that reach out to me want to have continued conversations about what we're learning, what everybody's deciphering. I really enjoy it. So please keep reaching out. Please stay in touch. And please keep supporting the channels for the content creators that you enjoy. It's really important now. There's a hard push, as everybody can see. But these are good times because you got to be in it to win it, and the fight is here. And we're going to find the front lines, and we'll get there, and we're going to be victorious. So have an excellent day, and keep fighting the good fight.